what your process was when you did that. What were you doing? Words don't really mean anything unless we are actually being triggered in some way with a memory or a sensation or a reaction of some kind. And so just knowing that it takes more than pronouncing a word. It takes experiencing a word in whatever way you do. So I don't think it would matter whether or not you're smelling the grossness if you have to say rotten in your text. You know, just the fact that you've seen rotten things, you know what rotten means, and just to say rotten, R-O-T-T-E-N, isn't enough. It's about actually experiencing the word as you say it, right? Because I think that's what we normally do. You know, even if I'm saying, you know, the word rotten, I'm going to automatically feel rottenness when I say it, even if it's not in a particular context, because that word brings that out in me. Like I talked about the word soft the other day with a lot of different meanings. Remember that? So it's just a matter of experiencing a word. Let's say in, you know, to be or not to be speech. You know, if you just let words come out for no reason, you aren't in the process of what people actually do when they choose words. When Hamlet says, the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Now he had to choose what words to say. Why did he choose slings and arrows? Why didn't he just say slings or just arrows? You know, because they're different from each other, right? They're two aspects of what happens when you feel that fate is attacking you, right? Sometimes you feel like something's being thrown at you. What's the difference between a sling and an arrow? Something's being thrown at you, right, in a sling. And what's the difference between that and an arrow? Something's piercing you in the heart, right? It's breaking your skin. So there's a different thought when you say slings and when you say arrows, right? Not that you have to act it out or anything. It just means something different to you. And that's why Hamlet chose to say it.
Life in this valley, it's not easy, but it's an honest life.
But why do you do it?
I believe in good things.
Okay, so now I want you to really react to me. Because if I say to you, why do you do it? Then what is, you have to think the thought that makes you say the next thing, right? You got to think of it. You know, well, why do you do it?
I believe in good things and doing right by my family.
Now, what do you mean by good things?
Just literally like doing the right thing. Like good things like, you know, telling the truth, not stealing.
Good. Now that's all you need to emphasize. Okay? You don't need to say I believe in good things. You just need to think I believe in being the right kind of person. You just need to think what you mean, okay? So why do you do it?
I believe in good things and doing right by my family.
Good. Now, what's the difference between good things and doing right by my family? Because you didn't just say I believe in good things, and you didn't just say I believe in doing right by my family. This is like the slings and arrows I was talking about, right?
Well,
so what's the difference?
I would say for me, good things is, like I was saying, just doing the right type of thing.
Right.
And then doing right by my family is supporting them, making sure that they're okay, making sure that they have a good life.
Good. So you need to change your thoughts behind the word, okay? So let's see what we can do with that. Just the thought will be enough, okay? So why do you do it?
I believe in good things and doing right by my family.
Good. Now,
you're aware that you're acting, that's going to be amplified because then there are consequences there, hypothetically, other people.
So you do have an inner monologue going on. And so what I always think is the best way to overcome that is to replace it with your character's inner monologue. Okay?
Right.
So your character is not thinking about whether or not you're doing a good performance.
Right.
They're thinking about why this person isn't agreeing with them and how they can get them to agree with them. That's what that's what their inner monologue is about.
Mm-hmm.
And so having that as your inner monologue to replace all of your self-critical thoughts, you can really only think one thought at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're allowing yourself to be fully involved in your character's inner monologue, you can't be having your own.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And I think the reason why that is painful to me is that there's just this constant pull back to my own thing.
Okay, well, just you need to give yourself permission that that's okay. Because, you know, it's kind of like when we're all driving, you know,
Mm-hmm.
when we're driving down the road,
Mm-hmm.
we want to pay 100% attention to the road, right?
Right.
But often we don't, right? And then you suddenly realize, oh my God, I haven't even thought about if there's anybody around me or if I passed my exit or anything like that. And then you come back, right?
Yeah.
So it's a matter, it's like meditation. Any of you meditate? You know, you're concentrating on your breath or your mantra or anything, and then all of a sudden you're thinking like, I wonder what I'm having for dinner, and why did he say that to me, and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And then you realize, oh, I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be following my breath, right? And then you go back to it. That's going to happen. It just happens in acting. And so you just keep getting back and don't punish yourself for it.
Mm-hmm.
Just get back in the moment, because when you're driving and you start to daydream, you don't step on the brakes and come to a screeching halt and say, you stupid asshole, you're supposed to be thinking when you're driving, do you? You know? That would be a silly thing to do. You would cause all kinds of accidents on the road. So you just get back into your character's perspective and their frame of mind, and you keep reacting to what is happening and trying to use your tactics to get what you want, and get back to it. You don't have to kick yourself about it if you don't.